Hello everyone once again and welcome back to Xbox's League Racing Week in Review. This is week 12 and we have a full complement of 5 races to cover again this week. First, as always, let's get into this week's League Racing news and transfers. Huge drama would evolve out of the PSGL PlayStation F1 finale this week, as OP drivers were involved in seeming to cause a crash on purpose to bring out a safety car in attempt to help OP driver Marcados win the title. Driver in question, Luca Kart, was banned from the league for 6 months, whilst Opa Barlin quit the team, saying that the sole responsibility and every decision of outplayed racing came from himself and not from Luca. In addition to banning Luca, OP as a team were prevented in competing from any PSGL organised team events for the remainder of this game. This led to a huge swathe of outgoings at OP, including drivers from PlayStation, PC, and their entire Xbox side has essentially collapsed, with this huge scandal rocking a very newly established team. Over on Xbox, however, MVR faced off in BRT in a FIFA Pro Clubs game in an old firm of the community. MVR opened strong thanks to this last-minute winner from Liam Bowman. However, swept across the final 2 fixtures, eventually losing to this controversial penalty call in the final game.
What tackle, Ross?
Good challenge.
What?
No,
Never. They've got to give up.
never.
That's another penalty we've given away. Good job, boys.
That's never a pen.
I don't know why we're
That was-
sliding in our own box, though.
Yeah, you shot at the slot, but that's never a pen.
They're going middle again, I can feel it. I could feel it.
Second time lucky.
But it's a
Off
fix,
you go.
Maggie.
Right.
No pressure. Oh, fuck off, man. Just can't save it.
Beginning with Xbox then, TTM and FRT both brought in reinforcements this week, with TTM bringing in Oxtez and Stokey, whilst FRT signed Nico from TF10 and Jack Taylor from a collapsing OP. BRT also brought in recruitments, bringing in Bourbon from ETE, whilst TF10 brought in reinforcements to both their Xbox and PlayStation sides this week, bringing Zach Clark and Fern for the Xbox side, with Zach Clark as a manager, as well as Max Grosspointer on PS. G-League did the same, bringing in Amin on Xbox and Lars Kramer on PlayStation. Finally, NLR recruited big this week, having lost some drivers over recent weeks, bringing in Julian, who used to be on Xbox, Lars van der Linden, and Nuth from OP. The penultimate round of the BBS season took place at Brazil last Monday, and it was Liam Bowman taking pole ahead of a BRT 2-3 of Furious and Lou. With Bowman starting on soft for the sprint race and most others around him on mediums, he held the lead early on, but battled with Furious towards the end of the race.
Me a dime, I was looking at the back.
Just went to the back of him into turn 1.
I'm sure you'll see that as Furious is going to go for a
Move for
now.
the lead.
Liam Bowman down the inside this time, not outside. Furious has managed to recharge a lot of battery compared to Liam Bowman. So I guess he's going to use that. He's not going to use it on this straight. Liam Bowman's going to go for a move around the outside, coming up to turn 4. It's a defensive line for Furious, and he keeps the position into turn 4. So I think this is a...
Furious went on to remain in front of Bowman to take the victory, with Boltwitz heading up Rain in a Shazoo 3-4 behind him.
Up to optimal. Safety car is in. Furious has gone. He's caught Bowman lacking just a little bit there. Tiny getaway. A lot of movement at the back there. FRT Justin getting past Finn, who started on the medium, on the hards, and there's a McLaren there. Rev Kessler getting a bit touchy with the cars around him. Halogenic on the mediums, getting ahead of Justin there. And Shazvenom just staying behind Caterpillar, and Justin gets back past Halogenic, and there's an Alpine to the inside.
Bowman and Furious also exchanged the lead in the main race in the early laps, whilst for Shazoo it was a nightmare, with Boltwitz being spun by his teammate Rain on lap 7. With much of the field starting on soft tyres, the first drivers came in to remove these at the end of the 14th lap, with Bowman and Luca pitting from 2nd and 5th respectively. But Bowman would later get involved in this incident with Bobbert, picking up damage.
What's the lines?
Lindo's actually stuck
Neck and neck.
behind Bobbitts now. As he's going to send it round the outside of turn 4.
And he's going to send it. Rev Caterpillar around the outside of FRT Justin into turn 4.
Oh, and Liam Bowman's
Furious
round.
in 13th.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
what a shame.
That's
What's
lost him
happened
so much time. But it's basically Bobbitts was just holding them up.
This left Venom, Luca and Furious in the podium positions. However, a spin for Luca dropped him from 2nd to 5th, with Furious and Rain being left to hunt down Venom, who had a lead of more than 5 seconds.
Venom has
Gets
a
the
really good
run
snap.
of his life. Can he get one into the penultimate
He's going for
corner? It's a late one.
No.
Compromised himself there. It's a valiant effort.
It's going to be a Shazoo Venom. Is this his first win in BBS? First win for Shazoo, maybe? I have no idea, but he takes the lead. Oh, never mind. Is that Rain coming? Oh, Rain nearly takes it.
10th.
Venom was able to hold on to the win though, taking the win ahead of Rain in second for a Shazoo 1-2, with Furious leading a BRT 3-4-5-6 finish. World returned this week, heading to Saudi Arabia for round 6, and Q1 saw F7R Kian out with a qualifying ban in their return to the tournament, alongside NLR Keke who crashed, and a driver each from Shazoo, OP and FRT. In Q2, the remaining FRT drivers eliminated, behind both G-League drivers ET8 Sergioli and Eleanor Giovanno. This left a Q3 session which went on to be dominated by the to-be-announced team of Reese Linton, Sav and Kai, with only S7R Taicho managing to run them close.
Get underway. 5 red lights of Badaguayas here in Legacy Division, round 6 of the championship, and it's already lights out. Now where you go, and Reese has really got off the line. Taito going to be alongside Kai in towards turn number 1, and there could be the block on effect in towards turn 1 between Parnell Racing and F7R. Taito tries to go to the inside line. Magician as well. Joe Murphy getting involved there in 4th position, trying to go on the back there of Taito Hardy. There's been contact further down the field. Axe is the one that has spun, coming through turn number 1. Maybe a slide tap potentially with Magician through that. Nando was getting positions early on as well. He's up to 6th early on, but Reese there leads. Kai in 2nd, Taicho Hardy in 3rd. No splitting of the strategy, it seems, though, from anyone out on track, as Dan has spun coming through the 1st sector, and that's coming through turn 8 and 9, running wide off track. But Reese there leading, Kai in 2nd, Taicho in 3rd, and everyone on the side of hard compound tyres.
Kai and Reese would spend the first part of the race working together to hold on to their 1-2 positions, including using this impressive tactic to box Taicho in and stop him from making an overtake.
No matter if they're late joining the championship or not, they're going to swap the cars once again, Parnell, but it's not going to work for Taicho Hardy once again to the inside line. Is he going to look to the inside line and get this move done on lap 7 out of 25? He's now alongside on Kai as they come now towards the line once again, and Taicho is going to try and desperately get out of the box, might be given inside room, but again, absolutely perfectly poised by the Red Bulls. Taicho Hardy knows the game they're playing, sits back, relaxed, but Kai Pearson makes a mistake through turn number 1. Reese on the exit's going to get the better run.
The earliest pitters came in on lap 10, and they gained a huge undercut on the rest of the field, with Typical jumping up all the way to 4th. However, although this worked initially, the fresh tyres allowed drivers to make their way back past him and gain places back up the field, with Reese Linton quickly making his way back up from 5th to 3rd. Despite a brief stint in the lead for Taicho, however, he soon dropped back to 3rd, and Reese Linton held on to win the race from his teammate.
On the McLaren car, but through the final sector, they come. Taito's got one more opportunity to get by him.
He has indeed, in towards turn 27. Look at the car, absolutely closing up. I don't think he's done enough, or has he? To the outside line towards turn 27. This is going to be bold from Taicho. Might get the run through the final corner. Kai has a bit of a real lock on the inside line. Might give Taicho a chance on the run to the line. Reese will take the win though. Kai, I think, is going to hang on for 2nd. He does indeed. Reese wins. Kai in 2nd. Taicho there in 3rd. And I think there was 3 wide coming through the final.
That made it a 1-2 for the to-be-announced team, with Taicho 3rd in his first world outing of the season. It was a strong result as well for BRT in 4th and 5th, while G-League had a poor showing, scoring no points for the French team. That leaves OP and Parnell, or the to-be-announced team, level at the top of the standings, although once Parnell's new team is announced, they may have to restart on 0 points, whilst BRT also gained places up to 5th after their strong finish. It was round 6 in AEC's Tier S, taking place at Austria on a Wednesday, and it was Shazoo's Venom topping a qualifying session that had been shortened by rain. And he was joined on the front row by FRT's Harvey, with MVR Ogwin and TF10 Tudi filling out the second row.
3, 4, 5 red lights. And away on racing. Venom is on pole. Harvey is on the intermediate tyres. Look at him go. It is going to be carnage. Here we go then. Into turn 1. Oh, bloody hell, everyone's on inters. Bloody hell, everyone is on inters. There's a couple of drivers on wet. Venom is on the wet. You've got carnage happening. The yellow flag at the back of the field. Oh my God, there's an absolute car park. Absolute car park at the back of the field here. But Venom is leading the way on the inter tyre. Harvey and P2 got 2D diving it down the inside here. Side by side with Harvey. 2D and Harvey going wheel to wheel. Mr. Harvey comes out on top.
Despite Venom keeping the lead at the start, it soon became clear that the inters were faster, and Harvey took the lead from the wet-clad Shazoo driver and began to pull a gap, as the others behind battled with those Shazoo drivers on wets.
doesn't have any protection anymore, and Bobbitt is down to P7, where he was P3 at the start of the lap.
Yeah, these wet tyres really weren't the right decision for these drivers. They're really starting to struggle in them. And on my screen, the rain isn't as heavy as it was before, so it might be slowing down a bit just in the inter conditions.
Which is absolutely disastrous here, because Venom is probably going to have to pit here as 2D goes past him. And that is a position that you won't really see happening here. And then actually Venom gets a switch back on him. I was going to say that's not an opportunity. Oh, and he gets squeezed off a little bit as well. And Mr. Ogween flies past 2D. He's going to fly past Venom as well down the straight. Mr. Ogween, he's going to try and get past him. And he does get past him. Bit of squeezing going on. And Venom's going to lose 1 position, 2 positions, 3 positions. And he's going to lose 4 positions. Straight away.
With the track drying up at the end of lap 13 and 14, most of the field began to make their way into the pit lane, but those who had stopped on lap 13 gained a lot of time, with Furious dragging himself into the battle for the win with Harvey, closing to within a second. The two stayed in each other's DRS for the remainder of the race, setting up a last lap battle for the win.
Back off again. He's going to wait and wait and wait. Turns it on, turns it off. On and off, on and off. Goes around the outside here. Mr. Harv, Mr. Furious. And it looks like Furious has got himself ahead. Has he? He looks like he has. Ogween on the back of Harv. And Harv and Furious battling for the lead of the race of TRS Round 6 Austria. Harv or Furious. Who is going to come out on top? And it looks like Harv. Round the outside, Furious. And Harv wheel to wheel. Ogween's got a good view of this one. And it looks like Furious has come out on top. And Harv is going to have to sit in P2 for now. And it looks like Furious is going to win the race. Oh! Ogween takes contact with Harv. Mr. Furious goes round sector 3 now, and it looks like the race is his to lose.
Yes, Furious has won this race. Now, Ogween, I don't know what he was going for there, but he should have conceded a place and took himself home for a podium. But unfortunately, he is probably going to finish in 6th place, maybe lower.
With Furious coming out on top with a slightly better lasting hard tyres, and Ogween also spinning after an unwise move on Harvey, TF10 Lucas completed the podium behind Furious and Harv. This result moved FRC to 3rd in the standings, jumping TTM and Zhu, whilst MVR still have a healthy lead, but were outscored by BRT in this race. WOR Crossway Tier 1 headed to Japan on Friday night, with Reece Linton holding a 40-point lead in the championship. And as has been the case many times this season, he took pole once again, beating his Red Bull teammate Kai by a 1/10 of a second.
Here in Suzuka, and we're underway, and it looks like a pretty decent start from both Red Bulls there as they head down into turn 1. Matthew Hall's not had the best of starts to attack Kai Pearson, but it's just normal as they come through. But he is trying to attack around the outside of turn 2. Can Matthew Hall do anything as he heads through it, through the snake? And Matthew Hall's got a little bit wide through there, and now it's left him open to Aurelian, who's had a stellar start through all this.
With a number of different starting tyres, question marks were over a number of drivers' strategies heading into the race, with all of the top 5 who had started on softs pulling away from the field. Those who started on hard stayed out longer, however, but the first soft runners started pitting on lap 11, with Kai taking the net lead from Enzo, Reece Linton and Matthew Hall. On lap 20, a safety car was deployed after OP Benzo crashed on the entry to the pit lane, and most of the field pitted once again for soft tyres, with Reece Linton dropping from 2nd down to 4th after being held by his teammate in the pit lane. However, after the restart, he pulled off this spectacular move to recover that 2nd place.
Maybe into the back of Enzo and let his fellow Frenchman get a podium, and a double French podium as well at that. Kai Pearson leading the way, Aurelian in 2nd, Matthew Hall in 3rd, and Matthew Hall right on the back now of Aurelian. Aurelian out of DRS range. It's going to be very easy down the straight for both of them, surely, to get past. Reece Linton, shot out of a cannon to the inside line of both. Towards turn number 1, and now he's ahead of Matthew Hall as championship rival. Forced him off track as well. Matthew Hall sent on the AstroTurf. Reece beginning to catch the back of Kai. Surely this is not going to happen. He's running out of VRS. They're all running out, in fact, of VRS as Enzo is on the back of his fellow countryman, on the back of Aurelian, in towards 130R, trying to go all the way around the outside. He might actually try the impossible at the Casio Triangle. Aurelian squeezed them short of room. Enzo forced across the track. He's going to be spinning the car out of control, but Kai Pearson to the line takes the win in Japan. Reece Linton.
Despite closing back up to Kai though, it was too late and he had to settle for 2nd, with Matthew Hall rounding out the podium in 3rd, Axe F1 4th and Shizu's Tom in 5th. The penultimate round of the NRC season took place at Qatar on Sunday, with OP holding a 40-point lead over nearest active challengers MVR in what could have been a title-deciding race. In qualifying, it was Axe F1 holding on to a strong position for MVR, taking pole, beating out title rivals OP, who had Benza alongside on the front row.
Midget rivals, I've seen all 5 lights ahead of them. And it is! Away we go! Active one seems to be getting away well. OP Benza though has selected the hard tire, so he won't be getting that usual good start. FRT Rain is through as well. Needs to be a caution at turn 1, but they still go at turn 1. Active one is still in the lead. Everyone on the inside there with Alfa Romeo, with BRT Gabber holding position, and the Williams as well with FRT Rain. We're going to go round the outside of Drobble. Through turn 3 they come then. Drobble going to keep that position, it seems, with P4, and FRT Rain might just have to back.
The field was largely stuck in a DRS train for the first stint. However, an unfortunate disconnect for Axe saw him fall down the order outside of the top 10. Gabor found himself in the lead after the first round of stops though, followed by OP's Louis Valentine and ET8 Matteo, and was then able to break DRS, causing this huge battle to break out behind him, helping his bid to win BRT their first NRC race.
For the move, and OP Louis Valentine down the inside, and Drobble clinks the back of OP Louis Valentine. Benz is going to go down the inside on Drobble. Drobble's been really pushed into that move there on Benz. A big battle going on between Matteo and Louis Valentine as they go wheel to wheel through turn 2 and turn 3 they come. It looks like Drobble might be getting it done, but Louis Valentine is back on the inside and they still battle on through. It's Williams, it's Alpha Tauri, it's the Haas ahead, it's blocking in. OP Louis Valentine, he's helping out Drobble, and Drobble is back through into P3.
Damage.
Oh, that is unfortunate for Rain. Drobble on the other hand though, on the inside he goes on Matteo and through he goes into P2. The MVR driver giving it everything, keeping it hopes down the inside. Going 88 Dirk and Carsey as well. Big battle going on there in the midfield between those. Shizuru Tom is still involved there. The hash of 88 Dirk and Louis Valentine is going to lose it in option, but Dirk's off the track. Still is Shizuru Tom, he's on the inside still though. Carsey's ahead of Tom, and it looks like Dirk is ahead of behind OP Louis Valentine. Big Gabor. What has been a fantastic race in Bunga Racing Team. They've had no wins NRC this season, but that all changes today. He's got one more corner to attack, the last corner around Qatar. Bunga Racing Team and BRT Gabor will see the checker flag first and take their first victory in the Novice Racing Championship. It's Gabor and BRT that win the NRC Qatar Grand Prix. Benza and Drobble go across the line almost.
He was eventually followed up by Benza for OP and Drobble for MVR, with ETA a strong 4th and 5th in their second appearance. This result takes the championship to the final round, but it looks near on impossible for MVR to claw back this deficit as it stands. So then, looking ahead to next week, we have a full complement of 5 races once again, with BBS at Abu Dhabi, World at Belgium, AEC heading to Midnight Monaco, WOR at Silverstone, and NRC the finale at Austria. And to continue another week of getting a prediction right, because I did get it right last week, I did predict that there'd be there'd be a 1-2 in 2 different races, and that was correct. There was a 1-2 in BBS for Shizou, and there was a 1-2 in World for the to-be-announced team. This week, my prediction is going to be that there will actually be no safety cars in AEC Monaco. So, there were no safety cars in Monaco at World, but if you look back at the AEC predictions video that we did, I called out 2 safety cars. I believe Ross called out for 3 and Joseph for 4 even. So we all predicted high numbers of safety cars. But, I'm back in the drivers this week. I think there's going to be no safety cars. And I think everyone's going to keep it nice and clean. We're going to have a great race at Midnight Monaco. That does round off everything that we included for today, though. And if you did enjoy this rundown, all support is massively appreciated. And do be sure to tune in at a similar time next week for another review. Thank you all so much for watching. And goodbye.